Alright, so it looks like we're not going to have too much of an audience this time, maybe. I was hoping maybe we could get somebody on here to try out some of the problems, someone who hasn't tried them yet. But yeah, we're just gonna start going over them. Let me bring this up here. Alright, so kind of wish now that I'd kept track of the order, but I guess we'll just go over them in whatever order they're in by number, since I don't know what order we did them in. So this one here, let's see. We have this, so this was an intermediate problem. This one is pretty interesting. So it's been a while. I'm trying to remember what people tried. If you play anything like this, white's just gonna play here, and then white's alive, right? This lives. If you play there, then this lives also, because you can play in either of those spaces. One person tried here. If white does this, then what do? You do that, I guess, right? But what white can also do is try this, I think. And now if you do this, hold on. Gotta remember the sequence here. You can make a ko, I guess. Maybe it was something else. Can right click to undo? Oh, you can. I didn't know that, thanks. Let me go back and find what the attempt was here. Because there was some attempt with this move, but I don't think it works. Oh, it went too far. Hold on. I'll find it. A17, D18, C19. A14, A18. Yeah, so that's a ko, right? Let me play around with this a little bit more. Black can just start the ko here also. And white has to play a threat. Whoops. Ooh, yeah, what if he does that? Now white's dead, right? Whoops. Yeah, I might have to play around with this one for a minute. You can't do that, right? Actually, no, you can. No, you can't. Yeah, you can. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's it. So you play 2. That doesn't work. This doesn't work, right? So if you play this, black's dead, right? Or I mean, white's alive rather. Yeah. So I think that's the sequence there. The correct move anyway is for black to play here. If white connects, you just play b19. White can't do this now because you can't Atari from that side, and can't do it in the corner either. So no way to make 2 eyes. White could, I guess, try to do a ko here, but then that turns into double ko. So black can always just win that. So yeah, this is the correct sequence there. So let's go ahead and set up the next one. Okay, this one was just from yesterday, I believe. I'm also hearing that Schroeds is here. Yeah, there he is. So currently I'm just going over the daily problems from last week. That was the only medium/hard one I got, yeah. It wasn't too bad. Wait, why is this white? What's happening? Yeah, he's here. So yeah, I'm just going over the problems from last week. Probably won't make a lot of sense since you don't know how to play yet, so probably just wait till I finish this. So for this problem, you have to push through here first, right? If you don't do that, white's just going to connect there, and now you just don't have enough space. So you have to do that. White can play here, and now the sequence you have to do is you play here first, so this forces white to connect. If white doesn't connect, then you do this, and you're alive. So white has to connect. At this point, you have to throw in here, and that will be apparent why in a second. If you just play this and white connects, whoops, then there's not enough space to live here. So the throw-in is important because now when white connects, you have this move, and white only has 1 liberty thanks to that throw-in, so you can just capture. So that's the sequence there. There's got to be some way to just clear the board, but I don't know what it is. So the next one here, this is a fun one. So far these have all been intermediate. So this one here, you might be tempted to connect here and make this eye. The problem with that is that white can play this. File new, I mean, I guess. But then that opens a new window, right? And I have to redo my window capture. So that's no good. And now there's no way for black to make an eye there because white can just run away. If black plays there, you play there, it's a false eye. So this doesn't work. You could try playing here, but that's not going to work either. White just does this, and he's fine. So the correct move here is to actually play this. What this does is now when white captures this group with this move, you can play here. And then after the move that captures, you can play back here. So this is a, yeah, this is a Tesuji called playing under the stones. You let your own stones get captured and then you play where they were. Now there's no way for white to connect and you always make an eye here. And then white can't turn this into not an eye because you have an extra space there now. So this move is really important. It does two things at once. It lets you poke in here after this move, and it also secures you an eye on this side. So that's a fun problem there. Hold on, let me try something. No, it doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not worth it. So those were all intermediate. We have a hard one coming up here. I think Evan actually got this one as well with a couple of hints. Let's see here. Yeah, so this one's pretty interesting. If black tries to connect here, white's going to play this move, and now black is forced to connect there, and then white can make two eyes now because you just play here, right, and then these two are miai. If black plays here, you make a second eye here. If black plays there, you make a second eye there. So this doesn't work. It seems like if you play anywhere else, though, white is just going to play here, and now you're in trouble, right? If that happens. What can you do? You can't do anything. After white captures that, this is a living shape. No matter where black plays, you can make two eyes. So yeah, that doesn't work either. So the conclusion that you can come to pretty quickly is that black has to connect here. Now the problem with this, quote-unquote problem, is that when white plays here, now he's threatening to capture this D19 stone, which you can't allow, so you have to capture him. He can do that again, though. You have to capture him again, and now white can play here and put this whole group in Atari. And you can't connect because you don't have enough liberties. So what you actually have to do at this point is connect here and just let white capture you. This is one of those ones where you have to let them capture you. If you look down here, you'll see that there are two almost eyes. So these are miai here. If white connects one of these and makes an eye, black can play at the other one, and now it's only one. So white needs to make an eye in the corner here. So what you have to do as black is prevent that. And the best way of doing that is playing here. Well, the only way of doing that, anyway. At this point, white can actually not make a second eye. You can't run away. Black just chases you and captures you. And the next best move here, black captures there, and now you don't have anything, right? And then again, only one of these can become an actual eye. So yeah, a little bit tricky there, but not too bad. Okay, so another hard one coming up here. Looks like that. So this is an interesting one. White has a guaranteed eye on the side here, right, in the corner. There's nothing you can do about that. So what you have to do again is make this part not be an eye. It might look like this is a good move, but white just plays here, and now you can't do that because that's an eye. You can't do this because, again, that's an eye. And you can't do this because white can just play here, right? Yeah. So that doesn't work either. So that's no good. Where you recommend to learn about the basics of Go? I can give you a link here. I'm going to be teaching Schroeds how to play Go, hopefully. He doesn't have Tabletop Simulator, which is something I did not account for, so we'll have to figure out how we're going to do that. But if you want to learn the basics on your own, you can check out this link here. It'll take you through everything. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to come on the stream sometime and learn. Definitely down for that. Black can't play here either. This is kind of the same problem. White just makes an eye no matter what. So the other move you can try is this one. And usually this is kind of a weird move, right? But it turns out in this case, this is exactly what you need. White can't play here, or you just do this, and now there's no eye there. So white has to try playing over here somewhere, or here, I guess. If white plays here, you do this. Now again, this is the same problem. If white connects, you do that, and there's no eye. So white has to come down. But now, this move Ataris these 3 stones. So white has to capture here, and then you can connect. And now this is a false eye. This doesn't work either for probably obvious reasons. Same thing. So yeah, this is the correct sequence there. Let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. So we're on to the easy ones now. This first one should be pretty straightforward. Don't think anyone had trouble with this at this point. This is one of those ones where it's kind of tempting to capture this stone, but now white plays here, and you're dead. You only have 1 eye. So what you have to do is play here. White can't connect there because that would be suicide, so white has to capture, and then after you capture, you have 2 eyes. So again, pretty simple one there. Next up we have... Okay, this one's interesting actually. I think this one actually ends in ko. So there are a lot of moves that don't work. This doesn't work, right? This also doesn't work. Playing in the corner doesn't work. So that doesn't work either, obviously. So the only move that is left to try is this one, which looks a little bit strange. This one gave me trouble. Yeah, this one is a little bit harder than I actually thought it was when I first glanced at it. So in this variation, if white plays here, yeah, if white plays here, black can play here. And this starts a ko, right? White has to start this ko. White can't play, if white had outside liberties, white could play this, but you can't play it because you get captured. So yeah, that's going to be a ko there. If black wins the ko, he can connect. connect. No, it's a two-step ko. Yeah, you have to win the ko twice. Whoops. And then you connect. Oh no, you don't connect. You just capture. So it's not really a great solution for black. If white plays here, you obviously just capture that. If white captures here, you have to do this. This also starts a ko. This is a better ko for black though, so white will not do that. White will play this one. But yeah, that one's pretty tricky for an easy problem. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one though. This is another one that's pretty easy here. You just have to play this, right? Because if white plays that, then, whoops, white has two eyes. So you play that. If white plays here, you just let him capture you and then play back in there. It's a false eye. If white plays here, you play there, you're fine. So yeah, pretty simple. Almost there. All right, so this one should be pretty easy as well. The correct move is playing here. If you do something else, like if you try to capture this, white can play this move, I want to say. Yeah. So that doesn't work. This doesn't work either because white plays this, right? Yeah, that's bad. So this is the correct move here. Now if white connects here, you capture, and that's a living shape. Obviously white can't play there. And if white plays here, you connect. And now white can't connect, so after surrounding the outside liberties, you can just capture. So yeah, that one's not too bad. Let's see, the next one here. This one is pretty fun. This is another one of those playing under the stones ones. I think it looks like that. Yep. So if you capture here, white's going to play this. Now you can't connect or white will capture you, so you have to capture again, but then white makes this a false eye. So that's no good. So you have to actually play here. Note, however, that this would not work if white had a stone here because they could capture, you'd just be dead. But since you have an extra liberty there, you're fine. So white is going to capture you, but that's okay because this shape is called the bent triangle, and it is famous for not having a lot of liberties for a group of its size. So you can just play here since like all of these liberties are already filled, and it only has one now. So it can't avoid being captured, and now white can't turn this into a false eye anyway. So yep, that's how you do that one. Let's see. Whoops, wrong color. Whoops. Alright, this one's pretty straightforward. If you play here, white's going to connect and has two eyes, so you have to play here. White cannot connect here because then you capture those, so white has to capture you. And then you play that, and that's a false eye. So yeah, pretty simple one. Almost to the end, just two more to go. Like that. So this one's pretty fun. The first move is pretty easy to see. It's right here. If you try something else, like try playing here maybe, then white's just going to do this. And now there are two ways to make two eyes, right? If you try this, same thing happens. This doesn't work either, right? So this move though is the correct move here. So if white were to play this, black would just play this, right? And now white's dead. So white has to connect here. If black tries to connect out now, white is just going to do this, right? Yeah, and that's mi now. So you don't want to do that. What you actually want to do is play here to prevent white from playing that space, because that's pretty important. If white now plays here, you make the second eye not an eye. If white plays there, then you play here. And this is a cool move because white doesn't have enough liberties to play this, right? So there's no way for white to live now. So yeah, that one's pretty neat. And last one here, this one was pretty tricky actually for an easy problem. Let's see here. Yeah, so the problem is a lot of these black stones don't have too many liberties here, so you have to do something about that. What a lot of people think at first on this one, I think, is playing something like this to make this eye an actual eye. So let's look at this one maybe. If you do this, the problem is white's going to play here. If you Atari from the top, that's no good. The eye over here is false, right? So that doesn't work. If you Atari from the bottom, or I guess the top in this case, since the edge of the board is usually the bottom, white just plays this, and now black can't Atari on either side because of shortage of liberties. So white is just fine. Black is dead now. So you can't do that. Pretty similar thing happens with this. White can threaten to capture this and then play. What does white do in this one? You do that, right? Now black can't play there. If black plays here, you just do that, make it a false eye. Same thing. So yeah, those moves don't work. You could try this move, but this is not too good either. Again, white can threaten to capture this and then come in over here and make that not good. So the correct move, I guess we can try this one first. So as usual, white's going to do this. Like that happens in pretty much every situation, I think. And next, white plays this move. Now, if black connects here, you make this a false eye. If black plays here, you play there, and now that's a false eye, right? So either way, it doesn't work for black. The correct move turns out to be this one, actually. And it's not too easy to see, but once you try some things out, you can see why this is correct. If white tries to do this, and then maybe this, you can play here. So you're fine. If white tries this, you just capture, yeah. And then white plays that and can't connect now. That should be fine, right? Same thing. If white plays there, you have to play this. And then that's this situation again. So yeah, this is the correct move here. That one's pretty fun. But yeah, that's going to do it for last week's Go problems. We can check the standings real quick here. Let me bring up the spreadsheet. So, actually, I should probably do this. So I got to figure out how I'm going to teach Schroeds how to play. So currently, Phoenix is in the lead with 11 points, doing pretty well. Scorpion and Dragons still tied for second at 5 each. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so 5 each there. Unicorn's at 3 and Crane is at 1. Crab and Lion still at 0. So yeah, without Tabletop Simulator, this might be tricky. We could do KGS maybe, but then you would have to download the client. Yeah, I mean there are ways to play online, but it's just like there's OGS, the online Go server. We could just do that. That's just a browser-based server. The only problem with that is that there's not really any good way that I've found to like review games and do different variations and things. Maybe I just don't know it well enough. If you wanted to download KGS, you could do that. That's a Java-based client. You'd have to figure out how to use it though. The other thing we could do is I could just show you how to play on stream, and then we could just play on OGS. Maybe we'll try that. So yeah, I'll just go over the rules real quick here, I guess. And you just let me know. Yeah, you just let me know if you have any questions or anything. So the game is played on a grid. The board size here is 9x9. This is the smallest standard board. The standard board sizes are 9x9, 13x13, and 19x19. Usually people play on the 19x19, but smaller board sizes are generally better for beginners. So there are 2 different colors, black and white. You take turns placing stones on any intersection that you want. Pretty much any empty intersection is a legal move, with a couple of exceptions, but we'll get to that later. Black goes first. So black would place a stone somewhere, and then white would place a stone somewhere, and so on. Just go back and forth. And then the game ends when both players pass consecutively. So just like in L5R, basically, it's like one big action window. You're just both doing stuff until you both pass. And knowing when the game is over can be kind of tricky, but that's a skill that you get as you learn how to play. So the objective of the game is to surround territory. The Chinese name for Go is actually the surrounding game. That's kind of what it's about. So one good way that I like to think about it is you can think of it like your stones are fence posts that you're putting in the ground, and you're going to build a fence, right? So let's say this is your fence here. Let's make it a little smaller maybe. So these 4 points in the middle here are completely surrounded by your fence, right? So those are your territory. Each empty space that is your territory is worth 1 point at the end of the game. So that is the first part of how you get points. The other part is you can also capture your opponent's stones, and each stone that you capture is also worth a point. So the way that you capture stones, let me remove those. And again, let me know if you have any questions. If you want me to go over anything in more detail. So when a stone is on the board on one of the intersections, it has 4 adjacent intersections, the 4 that are connected by lines. So the diagonal ones are not considered adjacent, only the ones connected by lines. And we call empty adjacent intersections to a stone. Okay, you read up. That's good. That'll probably help. Yeah, so the empty spaces adjacent to a stone are called liberties. And the rule is if a stone ever runs out of liberties, then it's captured. So if I were to place a black stone here, I've just filled in one of the white stone's 4 liberties, so now it only has 3 left. If I were to fill in all 4 of them, this white stone now has no liberties left, so it would be captured. So I would take that as a prisoner, and that would be worth 1 point as well. So I've actually just gotten 2 points now, 1 from the stone I captured and 1 from this point of territory that I'm surrounding. If white wants to try to avoid being captured, what you can do is you can play another stone here. And now liberties can only be filled in by stones of the opposite or the other color, right? So if it's a stone of the same color, they become connected and form a group of stones. And a group of stones shares all of their liberties. So now that these 2 stones are connected in a group, instead of 4 liberties, they have 6. All of those. So if black wants to capture these stones, he's going to have to surround all 6 of those liberties. So as you can see, the bigger a group of stones is, the harder it is to capture, right? Because it just has more liberties. Now, one thing that you might be wondering is, well, how do I make it so my stones can't get captured, right? Because at the end of the game, you want to still have stones on the board that aren't captured. So first, though, we have to go over a quick rule here. Let me just set this up. So this black group here, it has a bunch of liberties still, right? Like 8 on the outside. It also has 1 liberty on the inside. Now this is an example of an illegal move. White cannot play in this space here, because if white were to play here, this white stone immediately has all 4 of its liberties filled in by black stones, so it would be immediately captured. So that would essentially be a suicide move, and the rules do not allow you to do that since it's pointless, right? It's basically passing, but you're also giving your opponent a captured stone, so there's no reason to ever do that. So yeah, that would not be allowed. So if you do want to capture this black group, what you have to do is you have to surround all of the outside liberties first. Whoops. And now at this point, black only has 1 liberty left, which is the center one. So if white were to play here, the white stone has no liberties, but the black group also has no liberties, and the rules are essentially that if that happens, the player who just played the move gets to capture the opponent first, and then after that, the white stone has liberties again, so it's fine. So yeah, that is how you have to capture a group that has internal liberties. So now let's change it up a little bit. Let's do this. So now this black group has 2 internal liberties that are both separated from each other. And that is an important distinction because now, if white were to play in one of these spaces, white would not be filling in black's last liberty. Black would still have 1 left, and that's true for either of them. So if you could play both spaces at the same time, then you could capture black. But you're only allowed to play one move at once. You're not allowed to play two moves at once. So this black group is actually impossible for white to ever capture, because either of those moves would be a suicide move. Unless, of course, black were to fill one of them in, then white could capture, but obviously he would never do that. That would just be a mistake. If black didn't have the stone here, now he has 3 internal liberties, but since they're all in the same space, what white can actually do is play here. And now, if black tries to capture the white stone, white will just play in the other empty space and capture the whole black group. But if black doesn't try to capture the white stone, white will play there, black can capture, but then white can play back inside, and if black captures again, you only have 1 liberty, so white can capture you. So the fact that the empty spaces are separated there by a stone is very important. If white is allowed to play there, then he can still capture. So we call these empty spaces on the inside eyes. We would say this group has 2 eyes. An eye can be bigger than 1 space also. You could have like a 2-space eye if you had this. So this is 2 empty spaces, but it's still only 1 eye. It's just a larger eye. You need at least 2 eyes to live. As we saw earlier, 1 eye was not enough. 2 eyes is enough. 3 eyes is also enough, but unnecessary. Like, you're getting an extra point from that, but you don't necessarily need that to live. So it would be better, actually, in this case, if you just had 2 and this was a bigger eye. So it's more territory there. Let's see, what next? I should mention the sides of the board. If you have a stone on the side of the board, the liberty that would normally be on this side just doesn't exist, so it just has 1 less liberty. So that makes stones on the side easier to capture because it only takes 3 stones instead of 4. In the corner, it's even worse. You only have 2 liberties, so it only takes 2 to capture you. So generally, you won't see people play on the sides or in the corners unless it's absolutely necessary because of a specific situation. Generally, you want to play more towards the middle. Hold on, let me open. While I'm talking here, why don't you go ahead and make an account on onlinego.com so that we can play a game after this. Let's see, what else did I want to say? The edges of the board also help you surround territory. Like if you have this black group here, because this is the edge of the board over here, this territory is surrounded by you. This is all it takes. You don't have to put stones on the edge. So this makes it easier to surround territory on the corners rather, than on the sides. For example, 1 point of territory took 3 stones in the corner and 5 stones on the side. And it's even more difficult in the center. That's going to take 8 stones. So generally you see people starting out by playing towards the sides and the corners because it's easier to make territory that way. You might see like this. This is something to be more concerned about on the full-size board. On the smaller board, it's not really as big of a thing. But yeah, there is one other rule. What rank are you? I'm like 2Q probably. There is one other rule that I usually don't go over until it actually shows up in a game, so I'm not going to go over that unless it actually shows up in a game. Let me know if you've created the account. And also, if you want to get in, I don't know if you have voice chat or not, or if you are able to voice chat or not, for that matter. But we could do that, or otherwise just let me know what your account name is and we can play a game. OGS is kind of weird. You don't currently? Alright, that's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me see if I can add you here. And then let's challenge you to a game. Let me move this to the other window. Handicap, we'll do 5. Need to get it so you can cast all 5 R games? Yeah, for sure. I'll be white. Yeah, that all looks good. Alright, so I sent you a challenge there. Just gonna wait. So yeah, there will be an in-game chat if you want to just let me know if you have like any questions about anything. I'm also going to give you a handicap here. So Go has a handicap system. Let me actually switch back to TTS real quick. Go has a handicap system, which is pretty nice. The weaker player plays black, and you start out with a certain number of stones on the board. When you do give a handicap, white goes first, because otherwise it's just like giving them an extra handicap stone. Ooh, that was kind of loud. But yeah, so I'm going to get to go first here. But yeah, let's see how this goes. I didn't talk too much about how to know when the game is over, but hopefully we'll kind of figure, or you'll kind of figure that out, or I can talk about it a little bit more. Building the wall here, I see. Classic crab strategy. So I need to do something like this. Yeah, let's do that. It's always kind of difficult playing against a large handicap like this, because you basically have to rely on your opponent not being as good as you, since you're so far behind at the start. But yeah, if you're still listening to the stream, yeah, I've been playing for quite a while. You could get to my level with not too much practice if you like really tried. If you're just playing casually, it would probably take a while though. But yeah, there are definitely players who are a lot better than me, of course. But yeah, if you're still listening to the stream, which I believe you are, the end of the game won't let you chat in game. Okay, so yeah, you can just do Twitch chat. That's fine. The end of the game usually happens when there are no more moves left that are worth points for either player. So, you'll kind of maybe see how it looks when we get to the end. Most of the moves left will either be inside of your own territory. You don't want to play inside of your own territory if you don't have to, because that loses you points. Or it'll just be like moves in your opponent's territory that don't really get you anything. So yeah, when there are no more moves that get you points, then both players will just pass, and the game will end. Another thing I should probably mention is that at the end of the game, any stones that you don't actually have to capture stones that look like they would get captured. At the end of the game, any stone that cannot avoid being captured is marked as a dead stone and removed as if it were actually captured. You'll see how that works. The important thing right now is to just, play games so you can figure out how it works. Hmm. That's actually interesting. But yeah, after you play at least 1 or 2 games, you should be able to start doing some of the easy problems. No, can't do that, huh? That's unfortunate. And get some points for crab, that'll be good. Hmm. Keep waiting for him to play a move that I don't have to respond to. Well, I have to connect now, don't I? Well, do I actually? No, I don't. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, so many forcing moves on the outside though. This is going to be a really solid wall. Probably. So I have to kill the other corner, or he just has more territory. This is close to working, but it doesn't quite work because I can capture that stone on the bottom. Still, like I said though, a lot of forcing moves, so still a good sequence. Yeah, that doesn't quite work. I should respond to that though, just to avoid the ko. That way I don't have to explain that rule. Yep. Capture. Yep. So I would have played that one first, probably, because it's a better move, right? Now I try to do something with this corner. What do I do? Probably playing on the outside is better, right? Let's try it. So my white group here is alive now. Let's see how he responds to this. Ooh, interesting. Almost clicked there. Ooh, that's actually interesting. So I have to cut now, right? That's not what you want to do, probably. I think I have to Atari now. Would like to do this. Who are you playing against? I'm playing against Shrodes, one of our crab players. It's pretty good at playing crab, that is. Seems like he's pretty good at Go, too, considering that this is his first game. You can tell he's a crab player because of this thing, right? big old wall there. So I should be alive now, right? Yeah, maybe. I think so. Yeah, pretty sure I'm alive. Yeah. And then you realize that you have to actually have territory also. It's not even worth capturing, I think. I think this is better, right? Yeah, it's better. I guess one of the things about Go is that there are a lot of things that you have to consider really. Um, like you can't really just focus on one thing. It takes a lot of different skills coming together. So a lot of times new players I think focus on one thing too much, like, oh, I need to make two eyes to live. They just focus on only making sure all their groups have two eyes, or oh, I need to get more territory, so they just focus on trying to get more territory. But it takes all of those things together. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do this probably, right? So yeah, black doesn't have a whole lot of territory here since I was able to live on both sides. That's another thing is like yeah, I mean, it's difficult for sure. Um that's one thing you have to think about is like you don't want your territory to be too large and open actually because then your opponent can play inside of it and try to live. Um like you might think, "Oh, I just have a line down the board, now everything on, whatever side I want is mine." But if it's like the whole half of the board, your opponent can just play in there and try to live. So you have to think more about your opponent's territory. Like you can't just be focused on your own territory. You also have to think about your opponent's territory. Like, oh, I'm getting this many points, but they're getting this many points. Maybe I should try to stop them instead of getting more for myself. It's kind of a balance there. Go is really a game about balance. Have I really not used a minute yet? Maybe it gives you a little over an hour, I'm not sure. So so this is the point, Shrodes, if you're still listening, this is kind of the point where the game is getting towards the end here, and we're running out of moves that are actually worth points. There are still a few left. Yep, that is one of them. This one is better though. So let's do a quick count. Ooh, that's so that's interesting there. Usually the defensive move is one of these, but this actually works in this case, actually, to protect that stone, because I can't play here, black plays here, and then either of these would be self-Atari. So that does protect him. This is the other move that's left. I was going to do a quick count. Let's do that. 4, 8, 10, 18 for white, plus 11 is, oh, it just tells you. 18 plus 11 is 29. Black has 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, I'm up by like 18 here. Assuming he just connects now. But yeah, actually not bad there from Schroeds for his first game. See if he can see this last move here. Ooh, yeah. So this move here actually loses him a point because he's filling in a space of his own territory. Now I can capture this and get myself an extra point, and also, so this is a 2-point move. I get a capture and he loses a territory. Yep. And now at this point we would just pass. Yep, so no dead stones on the board. So we can just click accept remove, or accept remove stones. So it looks like I'm up by 21. Yeah, so I'll go over that game real quick. You can do a review on here, it looks like. Let me try that. Okay, yeah, this works. So you can just watch the stream now if you want, Schroeds, and I'll go ahead and do the review here. So I'll start out with this. So he's going to start out by making this kind of wall down the middle here. It's not a bad strategy. I played over here just to make sure I can, like, you know, try to get something over there. So what I have to do essentially here is I have to live on both sides of this. Otherwise, he's just going to have more points than me. Yeah, Schroeds actually played pretty well there. This move in particular was actually really good. Like, it's pretty awkward for me to respond to this, honestly. I played there. So at this point, you could have played here. This would separate my two groups from each other. And keeping groups separated is a big thing in Go. If you can keep them connected, then they get to share their eyes, right? So it's a lot easier to keep them alive if they're all connected to each other. Whereas this way, if you separate them, it might not work here because you still have to worry about your group in the corner, but yeah, this move is fine, honestly. Then I play here, I have to connect. This move was really good as well. Just Atari that, so I connect there. And then again, this is good. Now you're threatening this, so I have to make sure I can capture those stones. And at this point, like, it feels kind of bad for me because, like, every move here I have to respond to, basically. You can play these two moves for free. This move, it didn't help you, but it didn't really hurt you either. It just forced me to play this. I was saying I would have played this one first, maybe. But you can still play both, I guess, so it doesn't... Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? I don't know. You did play that one, though, so now I've successfully lived on this side, so now I have to live on the top. and I'm gonna try and do that here. So there was a move here. Yeah, this one I didn't really like. This one also could have maybe been here. That makes things a little bit trickier for me if you do like one of these maybe. And yeah, this move could have been that. That makes things awkward for me. These two white stones here don't really have enough liberties now. So there's not a whole lot I can do about this. But yeah, at this point, gotta run again. All right, thanks for stopping by, Evan. See you next time. At this point, this black stone is dead because if you try playing here, I can just play here. And now if you try playing here, I can just play here. And there's nowhere for you to run, right? This move is good though. Threaten to capture these two, so I have to capture. This one though is not good because if you play a stone on the edge like this, I can just capture it since it's already missing two of its liberties. It only has this one here. This one would have been better, or you could just save that for later. This is a bigger move right now since it reduces my territory by a lot more. And yeah, instead of just capturing that immediately, I'm going to play this one first. This sequence was fine for you. Again, this one you probably should have just played there since I can capture it. A lot of good forcing moves there though, so that's good. Moves that force me to respond, that is. So at this point during the game, there are 3 moves left that are worth points. This move is worth a point so that I don't capture this. This move is worth a point. Oh hey, we have a raid. Hello to whoever's raiding. Do not recognize that emote. Oh, that's you, Reckless Fury. No wonder. Yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm just teaching a new player how to play here. So yeah, as I was saying, there are 3 moves left that are worth points. This move prevents me from capturing this stone, this move prevents me from capturing this stone, and the last one is you can do this. This way you're pushing into my territory a little bit more, whereas if I had played this one first, I would have 1 more point of territory, right? So you can do that and then connect. The biggest move though would probably be to connect here, because if I capture that, see, what did you play? You played here, so you found one of them, but if I capture that, which I do, then it sets up this thing where now you have to protect this stone. If you play somewhere else, I can capture this stone now because since it's on the edge, it can't run away. You played this move. The normal response to protect it is like this or this. Like this is fine here. This move actually works as well though. Although you don't really need to be like fancy about it. So if I play here now, you just play this and I can't play there, or you can capture me. So that's fine. I played there, that's the last move. At this point you should just connect here and then the game would be over. You actually played this move, so this is not good because this is a point of your own territory that you're filling in. Thought G8 would be a good move, and then did H8. Yeah, H8 turns out to be fine here also, but G8 would have been good as well. Or again, just connected F8 is fine. So at this point, yeah, you should connect there. Playing that move just loses you a point, and then I capture, and then I fill it in, and that was it. So yeah, the main thing about that game was since I was able to live in both of these corners, I was able to like reduce the actual amount of territory that this big wall was able to surround. So you didn't end up getting a whole lot of points there. just kind of sum down that diagonal. But yeah, like I said, not too bad for your first game. You can definitely, I think, start doing the easy go problems and get some points for crab. So what do you think? Do you want to play another game, or let's see. I was kind of hoping one of the other guys would be here to play against you, but yeah, definitely. But Evan left. Oh, all right. Yeah, sounds good. See you later then. It's not that late. Let's see. Yeah, no problem. And yeah, I mean, OGS is fine, but there is also Tabletop Simulator, which is not too expensive. Thinking maybe I'll just do some Go problems now, since nobody else is here to play. So there's one I was looking at. Let me bring it up here. Not this one, we already went over that one. Yeah, Tabletop Simulator is pretty neat. You can play all sorts of, yeah, flip the table. You can play all sorts of different board games on there as well, not just Go. Hold on, where am I? Okay. Why not play a game on any server? You have new rated viewers. Well, I mean, I haven't actually played like an actual online game in a while. The main purpose of this stream is to teach new players how to play. I should probably talk about that a little bit actually, since all of these new people are here. So I play a card game called Legend of the Five Rings. It's like a fantasy Japanese samurai kind of theme. It's a pretty fun card game. It's been around for a while, but a new version of it just came out last year when the rights got sold to a different company and they like rebooted it essentially. And since it's samurai themed, there are some references to Go in it. In fact, the name of my stream here is one of the cards in the game. Let me show that to you guys. So this is Court Games, one of the cards in the game. It's a pretty good card as well, and it depicts some guys playing Go there. So it's a little bit hard to see with that watermark, but yeah, it's a pretty fun card game. I definitely recommend checking it out. But the the point that I'm getting to here is that because it is, it has some Go references in it, I figured that I would try to start a kind of Go club on the Legend of the Five Rings Discord server. So we've been doing a weekly Go stream. Legend of the Five Rings, you can actually find. Hmm, yeah, I do have the link to the Discord server in my Twitch description if you want to check that out. And we actually have a channel on the Discord server called Traditional Games. That's where we talk about Go usually. But yeah, I've been doing this weekly stream. I've also started a program where we do daily Go problems, and let me bring that up real quick as well. So I have a little spreadsheet here. This is the current daily problem. There's an easy one every day, and then sometimes a medium and or hard problem. If you solve one of the problems each day, you get 1 point. The points go towards whatever clan you're affiliated with. So these are the 7 clans that you can play as in the game. Each clan is represented by an animal. So like I play as the Crab Clan, but since I'm running it, obviously I don't earn points for myself. You don't have to be in a clan. We actually have one person who's not clan affiliated, but yeah, we already did one season, Unicorn won. But yeah, if you want to get in on that and start doing some Go problems, you're definitely welcome to check that out. Again, the link to the Discord server is in my description there. But yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. Yeah, and I do these streams every Sunday. At the start of the stream, I go over all the problems from the last week. So this problem here is one of the ones that I was looking at, and at first I couldn't figure it out. I think it ends up being a ko. So if black plays here, right, then white is obviously going to capture this. White can't play there, or you just snap back. So, like, that has to happen, right? Whoops. If black plays anything up here, it's not going to work. So yeah, this has to happen. And then the next thing that has to happen, I believe, is black. Hold on. Gotta think about this. No. It was, you actually start here. Yeah. Because now if white plays here, you can capture. So white has to capture here, and getting the stone there is important. Because now you can play here and then start the ko, right? If white does that, you just fill in there. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that is the solution. You can't live unconditionally, unfortunately. See, where were we here? But yeah, if you guys want to check out Legend of the Five Rings, or you want to check out the daily Go problem activity there, you can join this Discord server here. It's a pretty fun card game as well. Definitely recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. Usually what I do on my channel is I stream Legend of the Five Rings. We have a Discord Cup that we run, or a Discord League, and then I stream some of the Cup games for that, so that's pretty fun. But yeah, like I said, I haven't actually played like a real game in quite a while. I've just been kind of playing against new players, teaching them how to play. Could do another problem maybe. Let's see here. Ooh, I like how this one looks. Alright, so black needs to live. I'm looking at this move. Yeah, it seems like you have to play here, right? Oh, that's a thing over there, huh? Let's see. So if you play this, then he just does that, right? And now he's alive. So you have to play there, I think. Does that do anything? No. What about this? This looks like it might do something. Yeah, that's a shortage of liberties. And if white plays here, you play... What happens if you do this? Whoops. Does that? Let's see. Yeah, this is a tough one here. What time do I normally stream Legend of the Five Rings? So it's kind of just whenever people have games scheduled, there's an LCG streamer tag on the server that they just ping me, and then I'll say, okay, I can stream that. Um, so there's not really like a consistent time. If you want to check out some of those videos, all of them get uploaded to my YouTube channel. The link to that is in my Twitch description as well. The games I stream are like pretty high level games though, so you know, the commentary, I don't know if it would give you a good idea of like what the game is really like or not. Um, but yeah, you can definitely go check out my YouTube if you want to see some of those. Uh, let's see here. All right, yeah, if you played a lot of card games, then yeah, um, should be fine. Man, I gotta figure this out now. That just doesn't work. This doesn't work, right? Or does it? No. Yeah, that's nothing. Hmm. Like, I still think you have to start with this, right? I feel like you can't let white play here, but if you play there, then he just captures you. Like, what can you do about that? This is a tough one. We haven't tried this. But that can't be it, can it? Yeah, that's nothing. Hmm. Oh, I haven't looked at this. Alright, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Sorry if this wasn't that interesting, but yeah, usually I have a new player to play with, but kind of ran out, so. But yeah, I stream every Sunday, so, and we have that daily Go problem thing going on. This might actually work though, I haven't looked at this, because now he can't do that. What about that though? Bye. Have a good night. What if you Atari first? No, he always plays here. And then it just, nothing works. Yeah. Oh, is that a co? Think we found a co. What if he connects? Then you're dead. So you have to play there? That doesn't work, does it? Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. This problem might be too hard, or possibly not have a solution. I'll just play around with it a little bit longer, I guess. So that he just captures, and that's bad. Yeah, I really don't know about this one. Like, I feel like there might be something over here that I'm missing, but probably not, right? That's nothing. Yeah, I think most of the L5R people probably left already. Man, this just doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know, I'm probably too tired anyway. Let's do an easier one maybe so I can say I did one at least. Let's try this. Five. Five. Right. I feel like I've seen this before. Let's see, so if you play here, that doesn't work. If you play here... It's gonna be that, right? Yeah, that way doesn't work. So you do have to play this one. Yeah, that one was pretty easy. Alright, well, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Again, the unfortunately, that raid kind of came at a bad time. I think like that was right when the guy that I was playing with had to go, and then there was no one else to play with. So sorry if it wasn't too interesting, but yeah, I hope you guys, if any of you are interested in Legend of the Five Rings, you'll check that out. Maybe get involved with our daily Go problem thing. It's been pretty fun so far, but I'd like to get more participation. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you later.